I'll give you the general answer to that question, not for Turkey, but for countries like Turkey. And my general sort of question would be 50% structure, 50% agency, which is to say, you start with a lot of, initial conditions that aren't very favorable. Going back to the 19th century, you start on the wrong end of the global division of labor. Everybody else is industrialized and you're not. Plus then the British come and they open up your trade regime. You have to, all the craft industries you have in the 18th century are just decimated because of imports from Britain and other Western Europeans. And then you get defeated in a world war. So you start with very inauspicious circumstances. And then, agency, 50%, what happened, for example, under Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, who was sort of the leader, who made Turkey, who took Turkey from, the ashes of the Ottoman Empire, erected the Turkish Republic on top of that. He did a lot of very good things, did a lot of, very silly things, and we're still living with the consequences of many of those things, including the good things. I mean, the fact that Turkey is a relatively secular country with a large middle class, to a large extent, is the result of his top-down, extremely brutal, extremely narrow-minded view of what it meant to be a modern nation state. Basically, take the Swiss Civil Code and the French Criminal Code and just the German Commercial Code and just apply it. And part of but also a lot of the problems that we are having are also the residue of the fact that in that rigid view of how to modernize, he pushed out a lot of the people who need to be included back into the Turkish polity, including the conservatives, the religious conservatives, and a lot of others, and the Kurds.